Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 of the analysis right here. Welcome back, welcome back. Let's see. Right, so game number 2, both teams have opted to stay on their sides, but there's a little bit of change in the bans. For Blacklist, oh shit, I skipped game 2. This is game 3. Well, oh man. Alright, okay, here. My bad. I skipped game 3. I skipped to game 3. All right, whatever. So, welcome to game 2. Well, now I know how it ends. Now I know Echo wins this game. But all right. Swap of sides. So that's already something new. Diggy, Farsa, and Valentina. All right, 2 bans. Again, Valentina, Farsa. I think now, right, they noticed that leaving the Valentina open was a bit too expensive. They banned this. The Farsa ban and the Diggy ban is very interesting in the first phase, right? Because we don't usually see this in Indo. They don't see it at all. Maybe the Farsa we do see as respect sometimes towards teams like Alter Ego, who utilize the Farsa really well, like Aura Fire as well. But the Diggy we never see in the first phase, I think. Blacklist goes for the standard. 2 bans on Yaoi and the 1-1 ban. It's pretty standard, right? If you're second pick, you don't want that 1-1 to go onto the hands of Echo. Claude, first pick. Wow. And then it's a Faramis that's left open with the Akai, and they have the Estes. How does Echo win this? Well, now actually they have the Faramis and the Estes and the Akai. Echo have basically responded with just the damage, right? The damage is enough from Echo right here to actually melt down both the healing from Estes and the Faramis ult from Lilia, and obviously from the Claude. They also have a Barat, a very solid front line. Good against Akai, as the Detona's Welcome basically nullifies the heavy spin. Then the bans here, Blacklist bans out Grok and Dairoth, so they're setting up for an Esme. Pick up an Esme. VALIR. Okay. Alright, okay, yeah. So, a lot of pros have actually been talking about this VALIR pick. Valprick is amazing up against sustainable comps or against tanky comps in general. And yeah, this is absolutely perfect. Blacklist cannot engage, basically, right now with the VALIR on the hands of Echo. It's very interesting. And it's VALIR as a roamer, yeah? Not a mage. Okay. And for Blacklist, without a Beatrix, without a 1-1, Melissa probably can... Melissa's not good against this kind of comp. All right, yeah, there you go. Okay, they go for Irithel. Irithel's a bit better than Melissa up against this kind of comp, but still, the VALIR is going to be a problem, man. Yeah, all right. I think... Okay, never mind. I asked the question, and they answered instantly. How are they going to beat the Estes Faramis? It's a VALIR. VALIR makes perfect sense here, actually. We'll see how it goes, because VALIR's passive... It's basically a glowing wand, right? So it takes like a lot. The max HP damage into the burn, very good up against sustainable comps, up against this type of comp. I'm very curious to see if Yaoi should build NOD, right? Not Dominance Ice. He should build NOD. All right, we'll see how this plays out. The poke, obviously, in the early game is just obnoxious. Look at that. Look at that poke. Dude, oh my god, this combination is absolutely nasty. The VALIR and Lilia. Because again, the poke here from them is just, it doesn't stop, and they can just zone Haji and Venus from the minion waves. Haji and Venus just lost like a few minions there. No XP for them. Yeah, Sanji gets level 2 way faster. Alright. That's solid. Very, very good by Echo. Alright. Yeah, it's really good, Wolf. I don't understand Tagalog, but it is really good. I'm just guessing that's what he's saying. He's saying the poke is good or something? Someone translate in the chat. Well, what did Wolf say just now? I'm still on the Filipino broadcast, by the way. I just want to hear how they cast in Filipino. Because in Indo, the Indo broadcast and the English broadcast is very different, like in terms of like tempo and stuff, and the words. And the tone. So I'm just trying to like see if it's the same for Filipino, if it's like different as well. It's Manji and Chantel and Wolf. All right. Yeah, Echo have mid control now. So the trend basically just keeps on going, right? The mid control is number one prio here. Now that Echo have mid control, they can actually play around the map. Carlteasy has a better time playing around the turtle. He can go towards that bottom side. Wise can't really go for these crazy plays, and Venus is definitely not having a good time in that mid lane. He's popping the sprint early to get out of the poke. It's just so obnoxious. And this is why oh, wow. I was about to say, this is why Baratz counters Akai, and in the end, basically, that's what happens, right? When the Akai goes in for that heavy spin, tries to clear, just pop the death to his welcome, and you're all good. As I mentioned as well, the damage is going to be enough to melt down the... It's very easy to melt down the Cult Altar when you have that much AoE damage. Sanford, Yaoi, Carl, and Sanji, all AoE. If you... Claude as well. So, hey. Mid control, again, is number one. Echo were able to take that turtle because they have better setup into the mid lane. They baited Venus's sprint, and it's even simpler because I think in the draft they just won already, right? This VALIR pick is absolute genius, but Blacklist will definitely ban it in the next game. There's no way they leave this open, right? If they do want to go for this comp again. So now you can already see the adaptations being made from Blacklist. They know that they cannot go for mid control anymore. Venus very intelligently rotates towards that top side. You know, let's just help Oheb. Let's babysit Oheb. Get him to a point where he can actually carry and dish out more damage. Then that VALIR onto us. Then the Claude onto us. So Oheb's already getting that gold. Wise as well, playing around that top side. They're just trying to enable Oheb as much as possible at this point, right? Because there's no real reason in contesting the mid lane. It's a losing matchup for them. Yeah, this is good. Again, Wise does use that heavy spin. They weren't able to get much in that jungle, but it gives Oheb a little bit more space to actually farm, to shove in the wave, and they get more pressure on that top side because of that wave. Very smart adaptation by Echo. Very smart, like, not by Echo, I mean by Blacklist, yeah? Very smart adaptation. They know that they can't win the mid, so they push out the top side to bring Oheb to mid so that they can actually withstand the clear now. But because Edward rotated to the mid lane, Sanford punishes. See, so there's, again, there's pros and cons to how Blacklist likes to play. Right? When they play grouped up like this, they can be punished by their side laners, like Sanford, if Sanford decides to cut the wave, because Edward loses an entire wave of XP minions. Of XP lane minions. And here, Benny has ult. Just exactly what you do on the Claude usually when you get your ult. Just clear the waves back up, clear the waves back up. You don't really need to go for trades. You can go for trades, but usually the enemy doesn't want to go for any trades when you have your ult. So it's just a farming game at this point. But even in terms of scaling, I would say Echo has better scaling comp. So it's a win-win for them. If they play in the early game here, they should have the upper edge with the Baratz, with the VALIR, canceling everything out. If they go for late game, they can always just rely on, again, VALIR, Lilia, and the Claude. Is this going to be a slow game? Like, it's just, Echo just needs to suffocate Blacklist, and they just need to make sure they don't make any mistakes, right? They don't go for any over commitments. They go for any too risky plays. Don't go for anything too risky. But here, it's all chill. Sanji forced to pop the black shoes, but still has the Purify. It's all good. They just back off. They poke Blacklist down. They read their movements. Carlteasy's waiting there. How? Okay, Oheb's dead. Oh, no, he's not. All right, he has that ult, has the sprint as well. But Echo zone Oheb away. Notice how they don't instantly clear the wave. All right, they let one minion die to the cannon minion before they actually take it, before they go to the top side. Carlteasy positions himself perfectly right as the minion comes in. So Carlteasy just zones. And again, Echo's motive here is just to zone Blacklist. They did not want to go for a fight. That was completely just a zone to get this turret. And now with the top pressure taken, now they can do what Blacklist did to them. Now they can chain objectives over. They got that top side. They can push it over there. Sanford now should rotate towards that top side unless they're looking for a 5v5 here, which I think they are. Yeah, they are actually looking for a 5v5. So they're just going to go for the mid lane clear. Again, Sanford obviously just opening up the map over here, getting control, and it's a free turtle. So they still group up here. They don't want to go to that top side yet, but now, all right, yeah. I was expecting the lane swap to happen, but they delayed it a bit just to secure the turtle because they noticed that Blacklist members were up top. So now the lane swap happens. They want to get the marksman down below to siege the turret and Echo. Look at this positioning. Edward's dead. Edward should be dead here. Or if he's not dead, it should be just a free turret for Echo. Yep. Oh no, Yowie. Oh, good flicker. Nice ult. Yeah, the ult is a debuff. So it's a purify as well. You're right. You're right. Yes. Right? Yeah, there you go. Okay. So again, they just zone Blacklist away from that turret. They siege it down. Top side, Faramis is looking for the same thing. But Sanford, yeah, I don't think the Irithel can actually burst Sanford down that easily. So he's able to withstand. And Echo are able to do what Blacklist did in game 1. They're able to take more, get these trades to happen at a faster rate. Items. Oh, golden staff ready for Benny. Edward has the dominance ice. And Sanji can just keep on doing this. And again, let's talk a little bit about setup now that we're here, right? Now that they've taken all the tier 1s, this is basically the room that Blacklist have to play with if the waves are completely shoved in constantly, right? Because Echo will have control over everything here on the map. So this is Blacklist zone, if you can see the mini-map here. And you can see, yeah, that's exactly what happens, right? They're trapped in. Echo can just play around. They can maneuver themselves inside the enemy jungle. Blacklist can't do anything here. That's top side taken down. They can do this towards the bottom side, towards the mid lane constantly. But obviously they need to wait for the neutral objective as well if they just want easy sieges, which they're going to do. And the neutral objective forces Blacklist to actually step out of the base. There's no reason for Blacklist to step out of the base without the neutral objective. They can just wait for the minions to keep on shoving in. But here as well, setup, amazing. Sanford goes bottom side, clears it out. Bottom side going to be pushed in. Edward forced to rotate towards there. Man advantage for Echo right here. Blacklist have a gold deficit as well. Good choke point control by Yowie and Sanji. Sheesh! I love that emote, bro. Is VALIR the Blacklist counter, guys? And again, Sanji has Purify, so Wise cannot look for that like full engage commitment. They can't go for this. Echo are very good at playing from... See, Echo are really good playing ahead when they're ahead. But I think when they're behind, that's the problem for them, right? And if Blacklist are able to withstand, and I think in most of the games where they've met in the regular season and in the... Did they meet in the... Yeah, they did. The upper bracket finals as well. In a lot of the games I was actually watching, they were winning. They had like a 5,000 gold lead, but Blacklist were able to withstand. And that's why it's so frustrating up against Blacklist. But I think with this comp, I don't think they can. I don't think Blacklist can withstand. It really just counters the what Blacklist want to do. Yep. Not much they can do. Edward jumps in, but again, the damage, the poke comes through. They just want to siege the turret down. They got the base turret passive out. Rotate towards that mid lane. Bottom side slow pushing. So it's going to be built up for the push again. Echo can just reset and play for that. Bottom side is still slow pushing right now with the mini waves coming in, right? Sanford keeping his passive alive. Wind of Nature being built by Claude. Irithel going for a DHS, I believe. Or is he also going for Wind of Nature? I think that should be a Wind of Nature. I think, no, definitely not Wind of Nature. I think DHS suits him better. Yeah, there you go. He goes for DHS. Yeah, Echo they're just going to play inside of the jungle. Again, just now, look at the map, guys. Look at the mini map. Just now, with the tier 2s available, this is the pressure the Blacklist have to play with, right? This is the room that Blacklist had. But now, because it's only their base turrets, they're just going to be forced inside of the base. Unless they can get a trade around to the side lanes. But they can't play... They need to mirror Echo. They can't play with Echo. They need to like go towards the top side. If Echo plays bot, they need to go top. If Echo plays top, they need to go bot. And that's what they do, right? They go for the orange buff here. With Echo getting control over the next Lord, they want to go for this one, and they're slow pushing every single wave. They're just taking it slow. They don't want to shove it, obviously, because it'll give Blacklist more gold to play with. And Edward as well, he does not want to shove the wave. He wants the wave to be here so that they can actually turn the freeze that's happening here, or the slow push, into a slow push for Blacklist International, right? Later on, once the Lord comes in, because that's when they actually need a slow push to go to delay the siege from Echo. Yeah, and this is very smart by Echo. They notice the timers. They notice that the enhanced Lord's going to be coming up, so they don't go for it in the 11 minute 50th second. They go for it at the 12th minute mark. They reset it first. Top side again is still slow pushing. Bottom side as well. The reason Blacklist are not clearing this out instantly, shoving it back, is because they want to build up a slow push for themselves to delay the Echo push. They do not want Echo to be able to manipulate the waves. So right now, as you can see, the waves are in control of Blacklist. Even though it's shoving into Blacklist, it's slow pushing to Blacklist, but it's in control of Blacklist because they can manipulate the waves right now, right? They can go for the full clear here, and they can get a slow push going for themselves. I think that's what they're trying to do right here, right? Yeah, they are. So as you can see, top side, they're clearing it slowly, but they don't clear it fully here. They're just waiting for it. They're just waiting to get the golden XP right now. You see this? And a mid lane as well. They just clear it. They just want to go for that shove. But unfortunately, the mid lane is not how they want it to go. Yeah, this did not turn out the way that they wanted to go. It's a very risky play, right? Going for that slow push back, but yeah, it didn't work out in the end. But I believe that's what they were trying to do. Didn't work out because Echo are manipulating it really well as well. They are chaining it really well, and they just force a fight here. Top side, cult altar down. It's GG. They're gonna get the base turret mid. You can get I think they're gonna go for the end right after mid. Yeah, top side's pushing as well. Blacklist can't fight. I believe there's no way they can actually. I don't think it's okay. No end just yet. I thought with Benny they would be able to end it right here. But Sanji and Yaoi were super low, so yeah. They just go towards that bottom side, a bit safer. Oh. Well, maybe they do. Maybe they do go for it. Oh my god, Venus is low. He's dead. Sanji's dead. Traded in. It's still worth it for Echo. Losing 1 member, 2 members for 3 base turret, it's still going to be worth it. That's why Echo are just going and committing onto this. It's completely fine. Even though Benny dies, no problem. 2 base turrets taken down, bottom side base turret low. They have more pressure once again. And now, why base turrets are so important is because, again, super minions come in, right? And because of that, it's constantly going to be pushing into Blacklist, so they're going to have even less pressure than they do before. Boom, bang, bada bing. 7.7k gold lead. Someone translate what Wolf's saying here. Yeah, I honestly, like, in this game, I don't see Blacklist's way to come back. Their main way to come back is the Ube healing, the Ube sustain, but Echo are just going to keep on doing this, right? They go for the enhanced Lord. I think we're going to skip this part because, again, there's not really much going on. They're just waiting for that. They're shoving the waves again. This is N. This is N. There's no way. This is an N. Yeah, and the way they do this, right, again, this is back again to the fundamentals. Because they're just so far ahead, 10,000 gold lead, they don't really need to make any flashy plays. They just shove the waves together, 3 waves in total together. They push in, they look for that team fight, they look for the poke, they look for the siege. Blacklist can't do much here with the poke coming in from the VALIR, with the disengage as well. Wise can't get an opening. When he does, it's a bit too late. He's already poked down to very low. And yeah, it's just a brawl. GG. Good game by Echo. VALIR, is that the counter for Blacklist International? All right, we'll see. We'll see. In game 3, I think it should be banned out here. GG. GG. We're gonna move on over to the next game, ladies and gentlemen. So see you in game 3.